Yeah? Yeah? Who? Who was, you were in it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Which part were you in it?
The kid eating a potato chip.
Okay, cool. So the ones that have gone last year, raise your hand again. Here, I want to see. Okay, what was your guys' favorite part of the weekend? I mean, it can be anything. There's no wrong answer. It's okay.
It can even be the food. Sophia. Come on.
It can be, the games, the skits, the singing, the adoration, the prayer, the speakers. Okay, so, all right, we'll just skip over that then. Okay, so, like, normally kids your age, 13, 14-year-olds, you would think that they would say the games, the skits, the food, but I mean, after they leave the weekend, that's not their favorite part. It's the praying, it's the confession, it's the adoration. So, I mean, kids, you're like that in teenager years. I mean, no offense, so you guys are probably at that age right now, but it just blows my mind that that's what their favorite part is of the entire weekend. The speakers that we have, they're not just your average Joe Schmo speakers like we may be right now. We had, did anyone go 2 years ago to the Source and Summer Retreat? Probably not the 7th grade. Anyway, we had Leah Darrow. She has the title of the Miss USA's Next Top Model, and she travels everywhere throughout the world speaking. And she gave her her conversion. She's now a Catholic speaker. And then we have Father Agostino. He's coming back again this year, and he's from New York.
New York is where he's stationed at the moment. I don't
Yeah.
know where he was born.
So anyway, the speakers, they're phenomenal. And what we're really emphasizing this year is just having so much fun. Don't get me wrong, the praying and the adoration confession is important, but we want to bond with you guys. We want to create that relationship, that friendship. And and the people that have gone, did you guys meet a lot of new friends as well? I mean, and that's how we are all friends to this day. It's not, you do make those new friends over the weekend, but they don't just last that weekend. They last years and years beyond that too. It's just amazing, if you guys just would say yes to God and coming, the abundance of, gifts that He would give you back. So, my biggest thing is just be willing to say yes. If you're on the verge, maybe I shouldn't go, maybe I should not go, what's the harm in going and just seeing what it's all about? I have not really heard from anyone that they have attended and they're like, man, that sucked, yeah, So anyway, I would just give it a chance, and you never know what you may gain from it, whether it's friendships or a new relationship closer to Christ. So,
I think you hit it pretty spot on. Yeah. Like Holly was saying, just go. Get a couple of your friends together, stay the night at one of your houses, just kind of have a party with it. It's a lot of fun. It's Friday evening after school, so sorry we can't get you out of classes. And then it's all day Saturday and most of the day on Sunday.
And it's not overnight.
no.
Right,
No.
yeah. And Sunday the bishop comes and says mass, or closing mass with us, so that's always really awesome that he takes time out of his schedule to come be with the kids and meet them and everything. I always think that's really cool. And okay. So when I first went, it was in 7th grade, and it was because my teacher offered extra credit.
So teachers,
If you need more points in the grade book or something, you bug them, they might do that. Yeah. And then it was held at Mater Dei, which this year it's at Memorial again. But since I went to Mater Dei, they asked me to help out with team, since I kind of knew the layout of the school and everything. And it's really awesome. The speakers are always phenomenal. They engage you. They kind of crowd participation. It's a lot of fun. We have the skits. We have the impromptu skits where the youth, you guys can volunteer to help do. And those are always fun. That's kind of what some of the people dancing on stage were. Like Max said, the food, it's really good. There's restaurants who help donate and sponsor the weekend by donating food, which is always amazing. And of course it tastes great and it's free food for you guys. So, and you get a t-shirt. She's wearing one of them. So every year they kind of have a different color too, which is really cool. And then this year, our theme is Behold Your Mother. So as Deacon Charlie was talking during the communion service about having that devotion to Mary, we're really going to be focusing on that and how Mary can help us get closer to her son, Jesus. So I really encourage you guys to go. Get involved. And if you really, really don't like it, like Holly said, I've never met somebody who said that, but you don't have to come back the next day. We're not going to show up at your house and drag you there. Like, it's totally voluntary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys have anything else to add?
You?
I'll
Newbie.
All right, so I told you guys I went there in 7th grade, and I came back last year. Well, I went there in 7th grade, had a blast, great time, awesome. 8th grade, when we were doing science, I was talking to the guys in class, and there was like no one going. So I didn't think it was cool enough to go. And I noticed in here that we had all women raise their hands, and then one man. Guys, don't think that it's not cool enough so you're not going to go. Because that's one of my regrets, is that I wanted to do things, I didn't think it was cool enough, so I didn't do it. So, get your butts up and go.
From what I noticed through the video playing and then through after the video playing, it's like I've noticed a lot of chit chat. If you don't want to be here, then I'd say just go back to hitting the books, because this is something that you would want to hear from us until now. We've been doing this since our 7th grade year. Some of us took breaks. For me, like I didn't. Like who here was forced to do something that they didn't want to do?
Oh, come on, y'all.
Come
Hey,
on.
here we go. Okay.
Don't get me wrong. That's how it was for me my 7th grade year. My dad told me, and he told my older brothers and my younger sister that he's making us go our 7th grade year. And if we didn't like it, we didn't have to go back again and have to tell him what we didn't like. But I thank him every day that he did actually make me go, because I loved every minute of it, through the friendships I made with these guys, through the adult team. Like I made a lot of friendships with them, especially my relationship with God. With everything that we do, each talk, each prayer, each prayer rosary, each talk, through the skits, the food, everything in between. You guys, you just come together as we always come together as one body in Christ, as we always do, like on Saturday nights when we just turn the lights off, closing it out with everyone's hand in hand, just or arms around each other, just around the burning bush, saying we are one body, just means that we're just getting really close to one another, not being afraid to step out of our comfort zone and getting closer to ourselves, to one another, and to God. Don't let that be afraid. Don't let that, don't let that scare you into thinking that this is not just all religion. This is also finding yourself, finding the true you, okay? That's how I am today. I'm still doing it, but I'm growing much stronger and much more better, because through this retreat, I every time I wake up and get out of bed, I just think of the next retreat. Every time that we have a meeting, I just can't wait to see everybody's face again. Be like, Holly, we gave witness talks, because that's how much we've gone closer. Gail wanted us to do witness talks, and then hers was better than mine. Thank God I went first. But I was glad to step out of my comfort zone and tell everyone my true faith. Yeah. Don't be afraid to express who you are. Don't be afraid to show your friends, your family, and to anyone that you encounter what you are and who you want to become. Because that's who I still want to be. That's who I'm trying to be. And that's God. And that's what you guys should do too.
And just to piggyback off of him, do you guys know, I don't keep asking these questions, but do you guys know Nick Sellers? He was the quarterback football player at Gibson Southern High School. Okay, so yeah, he was, not just, he was the head honcho of the football team, everyone knew him at Gibson Southern. And I actually talked to him about a couple months ago. And, I was asking him, hey, are you going to be able to make it to the Source and Summit retreat? Because right now, he's at Murray State, and he is, looking into studying to become a priest. And he was like, Holly, don't get me wrong, I had a lot of influences in my life to get me to where I am today. But the real, I guess you could say big eye-opener was on Source and Summit. That's where I felt my true calling. So, even a big-time football player, came and attended and said yes. And so, those guys, they just said, even though it may not be the cool thing to do, it doesn't mean that it isn't the wrong thing, if that makes sense. It's good to be abnormal. It's good to be different.